Good morning, students. Our today's topic in the subject of business studies is the product life cycle. This is somewhat technical, tough topic in the subject of business studies, but I have done a lot of work on it, and that will be much easier for you people now. So concentrate yourself. We are going to start the lecture. The product life cycle describes the stages a product will pass through from its introduction, through its growth, until it is mature, and then finally its decline, and then withdrawn from the sale. You have seen a lot of the products in the market that once introduced in the market, then their promotion, their growth was there, their maturity was there. You may have seen the decline of that product, and finally that product is withdrawn from the market now. For example, one of the example in Pakistan that is very popular brand of ice cream was there in our childhood, that was Polka ice cream. Once we have seen the boom of that product, so at one time that was introduced, then growth, then maturity, like boom, then decline, and finally that was withdrawn from the market. So this is actually called the product life cycle of any product. A typical life cycle for a product is as follows. First, a product will be developed, the prototype will be tested, and market research carried out before it is launched onto the market. There will be no sales at this time. So first stage of any product is to make an idea. First, the idea come into the mind of the entrepreneur. Then he research on that idea and make a prototype. For example, in all kinds of the bakers, an idea come into the mind of the bakers. They make the product that is called prototype. First, they do not make the product on the huge level. They make a prototype. Prototype is called a sample. They taste the sample to different customers and take the opinion of the customers. So this is always the first stage of the making of any product. So read again. First, a product will be developed. The prototype is the sample, will be tested, and market research will be carried out before it is launched onto the market. Before it is launched onto the market, there will be no sales at this time, because you are offering the product to your customers to take their view free of cost. Sir, please taste it and give your opinion. Like, no sales will be there. That sample will be free of cost. Okay, then next stage will be, it is then introduced or launched. Okay, if you are getting the positive feedback from the customers, they are giving you very positive response, so it means that is a good idea. So then you will make the product on a huge level. You will launch the product now. So the next stage will be, it is then introduced or launched onto the market. Sales will grow slowly, because at first not many customers will buy the product, but slowly the sales will grow. So slowly at first, because most customers will not be aware of its existence. Informative advertising is used. So you will give informative advertising. You will give the benefits into your advertising. So you will make advertising on the TV or on the billboards, and you will give the information about the product. Sir, our product is having this kind of ingredients. So this kind of the information, that is called informative advertising, will be there. So look now, informative advertising is used until the product becomes known. So finally, with your efforts, the product will become known, that will become popular. Price skimming may be used if the product is new development. So if there is no competitor in the market in front of you, because you are the first one who is actually making that product, and you have made a lot of the effort to make the product popular. So at this stage you may charge higher from the customers because there is no competition in front of you. So price skimming stands for higher price. Price skimming may be used if the product is new development and there are no competitors. Because no competitors are there, so customers will be forced to buy that product from you because you are the only one in the market, no competitor is there. So if you are charging high price, they will pay you because there is no alternate for them. No profits are made at this stage as development costs have not yet been covered. Because you have invested a lot onto the development of the product, you have invested millions of the rupees, for example. So first you are getting the money that is covering the development cost, not profit. For example, you have invested 10 lakh rupees on the development of on the development of the product. So first you are getting rupees in hundreds and thousands. So first you have to cover your 10 lakh rupees. That is your cost that you have invested on the development of the product. So it means no profit is made at this stage. So look now, informative advertising, the word is used, informative advertising. So I'm showing you an advertising campaign. So look at this. माँ कितनी भी कोशिश करे अच्छी चीजें खिलाने की ताकि वो बीमार ना पड़े, हंसते खेलते रहे, लेकिन वो खाएंगे वही जो उनका दूध है। अच्छा लगेगा और बीमारी से भी बचे रहेंगे। डाबर च्यवनप्राश 3 times immunity. So if you have seen this advertising like very concentrately, you can see the advertising is informative, in which Madhuri is saying बच्चे कुछ भी खा सकते हैं, like बच्चे is not eating good things, but this is informative advertising that Dabur Chyawanprash is very delicious for the child as well. As well, they have the good ingredients. So this is informative advertising. Okay, next stage in the life cycle is sales start to grow rapidly because the product is known into the market. Clients are appreciating you because your product is good. So the sales will start to grow rapidly now. The advertising is changed to persuasive advertising to encourage brand loyalty. So the first stage was informative advertising. Now the product is known. Everyone know what kind of Pepsi is, what kind of Coca-Cola is, what kind of McDonald's is, that is now famous. So the next stage will be now persuasive advertising. Okay, prices are reduced a little as new competitors enter the market and try to take some of your customers. Because your customers are increasing, everyone was looking at you. So because of this, some competitors will enter into the market and will make the same product. Likewise, in the competition of the McDonald's, there is KFC and lot of brands are there. For example, burger clubs and etc. A lot of competitors are there. So prices are reduced a little to compete the competitors. Profits start to be made as the development cost will have been covered. So at this stage, after 6 months or a year or 2 years, so development costs will be covered and now profits are starting. And you will start persuasive advertising. Persuasive advertising is of the kind, like look at this advertising.
आपके लिए करूँ हर बार कौन सा पराठा रोटी दा चलना या
So, students, this was the kind of the persuasive advertising because no information about the 7-Up was given, no ingredients, no price, nothing was given about the product, but persuasion was there. Like chicken tikkas were seen, some youngsters were seen, like lemons were also there. So that was a kind of the persuasive. Like after seeing this kind of the advertising, you like there your mouth is getting watered. There is coming water into our mouth. So we are actually want to drink this kind of the drink now. So this is a persuasive advertising. Okay, after this stage, the next stage of the life cycle of any product is sales now increase but slowly. Competition becomes intense because new and new competitors, because of the famous, because of the popularity of the product, are coming into the market. So competition becomes intense and price strategies are now competitive or promotional pricing. You ever have seen the promotional or the competitive pricing? For example, 10% discount, there is 5 rupees off on the price of the Pepsi Cola. So these kind of the advertising are called competitive or promotional pricing. A lot of the advertising is used to maintain sales growth because competition is high now. So you have to be advertise the product a lot. Profits are at their highest because the product is very famous into the market now. So now look at the promotional advertising. These kind of the advertising, remember, for a very short period of time. For example, in Pakistan we get these kind of the promotion, particularly in Ramadan and on Eids as well, in European countries on Easter, on Christmas. So these kinds of the advertising that is called promotional pricing is only for short period of the time. For example, on the New Year as well. So look at the promotional pricing now.
लगी क्या? आपकी और सबके लिए सिर्फ 75% ऑफ तक की सेल लगी. Just for everyone.
So this was advertising of promotional kind because 75% sales was given on the service shoes. So that's why customers will buy the product for that short period of time a lot. For example, the sales of the Bata company increased a lot in the time of the Ramadan when 75% off is given. But after that, again, sales declined because the promotional pricing is off then. Okay, the next stage in the life of the product life cycle is sales have reached saturation point and stabilized at their highest point. So definitely there will come a point into the market when each and every customer know about the product of your company. For example, in Pakistan, each and every person know about the Pepsi. There is no person who do not know what is Pepsi. So it means the saturation point has come into the Pakistan about the product Pepsi. So sales have reached saturation point and stabilized at their highest point. Competition is high, but there are no new competitors. So this stage is now in the product life cycle. Competitive pricing is used. Competitive pricing stands for whatever the price of the competitor is, you have to maintain your price at almost the same level. For example, the price of the Pepsi and Coke is almost same in Pakistan. For example, the price of the Mountain Dew and 7 Up is almost same in Pakistan. So this kind of the price strategy is called competitive pricing. So competitive pricing is used, a high and stable level of the advertising is used, but profit starts to fall as sales are static and prices have to be reduced due to competitive. So look at the advertising now.
मेरा तो रोजा भी है। किसने कहा था कि पेप्सी पैसे की कर दो?
So this kind of advertising is called competitive because you have to be competitive in front of your competitors so to increase your sales. Okay, the next point in the product life cycle is the sales of the product will decline as new products come along or because the product has lost its appeal. So finally a point comes where when a lot of the new products come into the market, for example Sting, for example like these kind of a lot of drinks are coming into the market now. So Pepsi and Coke are losing their appeal. 7 Up is losing their appeal because the youngsters are drinking now Sting and that kind of Mountain Dew energy drinks they are using more. So Pepsi and Coke are losing their appeal now. Pepsi and Coke is popular in elderly people now. Youngsters, you can see energy drinks in their hands, like the girls and the boys are taking energy drinks. For example, Sting is the most common example in Pakistan. So new products come along or because the product has lost its appeal, product will decline. The product will usually be withdrawn from the market when sales become so low and prices have been reduced so far that it becomes unprofitable to produce the product. So this stage will come after time. Advertising is reduced and then stopped because product is no more famous into the market. So finally the advertising will be reduced and then stopped. Okay, all these stages which we have read can be shown by a graph. So this is the graph of the product life cycle of any product. In first stage, development is there. Then that product is introduced into the market. After getting popular, the growth will be increased. Then will come the maturity stage, that is the maximum sale of any product. And after that, the product will lose its appeal when new products will come into the market with better features. And then decline will be there. And finally, the withdrawn of the product from the market. The exact length of the life cycle in terms of time varies a great deal from product to product. It is affected by the type of the product it is. For example, fashionable items will go out of the fashion quickly, whereas food products may last a very long time. So this is very important point. You cannot predict the exact time for the saturation or for the withdrawn time of the product from the market. That actually changes from product to product. For example, fashionable products are changed very rapidly. Mobile is one example, one popular example of this one. You ever have seen after 6 months new version come into the market and that becomes popular? After next 6 months another version of the mobile comes into the market and the older one becomes less popular. So because this is a fashionable product, likewise jeans. is another very famous example. Sometimes tight jeans becomes popular into the market. Sometimes loose jeans becomes into the market popular into the market. Sometimes loose bottom becomes popular into the market. Sometimes tight bottom becomes into the market popular. So fashionable items have very short life cycle, whereas the food items are having a longer life cycle because the taste of the people does not change rapidly. For example, dal chawal or biryani, these are the kind of the examples in Asia. These are very popular food items in Asia, particularly. So the taste of the people does not change rapidly. So the life cycle depends on the product. Another very important point for you people is the product having very short period between introduction and decline. They are sometimes called fads. So this is a term used for the products which are having very short period of the life cycle. Okay, a question is here. Why do some products have much longer life cycles than others? Use examples to illustrate your answer. I have told you earlier, some products, for example, food items having longer life cycles as compared to fashionable life cycles. The reason is that the taste of the food items does not change rapidly, whereas the taste of the fashionable items change very rapidly. So this is the reason. So this is the answer of this question. And other question is here. This is very important question which frequently come into the paper. Pricing, promotion, and profits are very important elements of the marketing mix of a company. How and why might a company change its pricing, promotion, and profits during the stages of the product life cycle? So this is the question. Its answer we have read into the lecture. So look now. As far as pricing is concerned, so why people change the pricing of any product into the life cycle of the product? So look now, price skimming, as few, no competitors, because in the very beginning the product is the only one, there is no competitor into the market, so price skimming policy is applied. Then penetration pricing by competitors, as a few competing products are introduced, small reduction in your prices to compete with these products. So after some time, few competitors will come into the market, so you will reduce your price a very few. So this is the next stage of the pricing. After that, competitive pricing, promotional pricing, as competition becomes intense. So this is the next stage of the pricing, because now there will be a lot of competitors. Next, price reductions to encourage sales as sales are falling. Some competitors stop making the product because new products are coming into the market. For example, Sting and other energy drinks are coming. That's why the sales of the Pepsi and Coke are reducing. That's why they will cut their price to encourage the customers to purchase them. So this will be the next stage. After that, competitive pricing, prices are reduced to compete with existing competitors. No new competitors enter the market. So this will be the next stage. So these are the stages of the pricing in the life cycle. Next, we are going to read the topic promotion or advertising in the life cycle. First stage will be advertising reduced or may stop altogether as sales fall. So this will be the very first stage because your product is not selling. So you will advertise very few. After that, informative advertising as the product is new. Free samples may be given out to get customers to try it. So the stage will be informative advertising, and free samples and prototypes will be given. After that, a lot of advertising, because your product is getting famous, your product is customers are liking your product. So then a lot of the advertising to encourage brand loyalty and to compete with other very competitive products. So this will be the stage in the advertising. After that, a high and stable level of the advertising may be promoting new improved version of the original products. As you have ever seen, the Pepsi is introducing new and new versions of themselves. After some times, we can see in the advertising that Pepsi is saying this is the new version. We have strong taste, like these kind of the advertising come into the life cycle of any product. After that, informative advertising change to persuasive advertising to encourage brand loyalty as sales start to rise rapidly. So these are the stages of the advertising in the life cycle. And finally, we are going to read the topic profits. So what are the stages of the profits in the product life cycle? So first stage will be loss made due to high development costs. So this will be the very first stage when you are making no profit because you have invested a lot in the development of the product. So loss made due to high development costs. Then profits fall as sales fall. So very first stage will be very few products will be sold. After that, profits fall as sales are static and prices have been reduced. After that, profits start to be made after development costs have been covered. And finally, profits at their highest as sales growth is high. So these were the stages. Okay, very final topic in the lecture is uses of the product life cycle. So this normally the question which arise into the minds of the students. So what we are reading, what is the use of the product life cycle? So look now, it will illustrate the broad trends in the revenue that a product might earn for the business. So businesses can predict from the graph of the product life cycle what they are earning and what can be earned in the future. Next use is it will identify points at which businesses may need to consider launching new products. Definitely the point where they think to introduce new products will be the maturity or the declining point of the previous product. Okay, as older ones are in decline. Next benefit is it will identify points at which extension strategies may need to be introduced. Next benefit is it may help a business to identify when and where spending is required. For example, on research and development at the start, on marketing at the introduction, and when extension strategies are required. Next benefit is it may help to identify points at which business should no longer sell a product. Definitely that will be the declining point of the product. Next benefit is it will help a business to manage its product portfolio, its mix of the products. So a company which is producing many products, for example, Nestle is producing chocolates, whatever, everything, like a lot of the products are of the Nestle company, that is called product portfolio. So it will help a business to manage its product portfolio, which product should be into the market, which kind of the publicity should be there to a particular kind of the product, and which product should be withdrawn from the market. So this is the point. Next benefit is it will identify points at which revenue from the product should be growing and points where it may be declining. So declining and growing points can be seen from the graph. Next benefit is it will give an indication of the profitability of the products at each stage in its cycle. And next is it will allow a business to plan different styles of the marketing that a product might need over its life cycle. So these are the benefits or uses of the product life cycle. So this was a very important lecture, students, as far as your business studies is concerned. So papers are like this topic is frequently coming to the paper. So read this lecture again, make your notes and learn it. Thank you so much.